Why some people tend to avoid being in a relationship. We're advised to accept that so as to be cheerful, we should be in a connection. For some individuals, being single can appear to be an unnerving possibility. They long to be in a serious relationship and locate a profound association with somebody exceptional, and winding up alone scares them to their center. We classify these individuals as probably the most joyful individuals in the world. They can't get a handle on the possibility that some want to remain single. Be that as it may, there are other people who might be superbly content with being single and aren't intrigued or searching for a genuine relationship. We will, in general, classify them as pitiful people who haven't discovered love yet. With regards to being single, you might be pondering where you fall on this range. In all actuality, regardless of whether they do discover somebody deserving of being their perfect partner, these people would prefer to remain the manner in which they as of now are than to start a relationship. Why? 1. Relationship doesn't make them happier than they are right now. Everybody has their own point of view. A few people accept that discovering genuine affection is the motivation behind our lives, though a few people accept that it isn't. Or maybe, they accept that satisfaction shouldn't be constrained to someone else being in their lives. To call single individuals forlorn would be uncalled for in light of the fact that being single, for example, not in a relationship, doesn't imply that they don't have companions. It doesn't imply that they're socially cumbersome, it implies that they simply don't see the moment that others state that affection is essential. Possibly their adoration isn't in one individual, it may be with their family, companions, or even pets. Whatever it may be, being single doesn't make you any more troubled than somebody in a relationship, and seeing someone imply that they're any more joyful than somebody who's single. 2. Too busy for a relationship. Contingent upon how your life is right now organized, being single might be the ideal decision for you and your specific way of life. For example, on the off chance that you travel often for work and are very vocation-centered, you might be an individual who is in an ideal situation being separated from everyone else on the grounds that your enthusiasm for your work supports and satisfies you. While a few people need to have a profound association with someone else to be upbeat, there are the individuals who have a profound association and energy for their work or another enthusiasm that brings them satisfaction consequently. Once more, comprehend that building your life around your profession ought to be a decision that satisfies you. 3. They don't want to go through all the work. It's a matter of decision whether somebody acknowledges the work there is to a relationship or whether they decide not to. It doesn't really need to make an individual shallow. It's their decision. A few people will ignore the joy that is conceivable in a relationship and spotlight on the cons. 4. They have different priorities. They decide to concentrate on their own future as opposed to a joint future with another person. Naming these individuals as conceited resembles suspecting it isn't right to think about yourself first. It's what they need, it's what they decide to concentrate on. The entire procedure of a relationship appears to be tedious to them, and they'd preferably not be seeing someone all they need to do is center around different things. 4. They've seen the worst that could happen. Let it be known, we decide to concentrate on what will get the most response. TV programs inform us concerning all the tricks and all the cheating there is to a relationship as opposed to taking a gander at all the beneficial things. 5. They find relationship overrated. Stop and think for a minute. Chances are that these individuals have been seeing someone previously, but since of how they finished, they understood that they don't have to remain focused on somebody. On the off chance that they need to be with somebody for a night, that doesn't consider a real relationship, and they're in fact, despite everything, carrying on with the single life. It's being with somebody without the dedication in question. 6. Lingering past. A few people have had a past where all they've seen is individuals getting into connections and afterward escaping them. The relationship appears to never last. Possibly they've even heard individuals trust in them of their cheating. The entirety of this will undoubtedly affect you. Consider it yourself, on the off chance that you've grown up being encompassed by fizzled or deceived connections, how might you respond? 7. It's religious. As peculiar as it would to sound to many individuals, the decision of being single is something that they feel strictly constrained to. It may appear to be peculiar or even silly to us, however for them it's a choice. By the day's end, regardless of whether you're single or in a relationship, it's a decision and outside components don't need to influence this decision. 8. Wholeheartedly want to be single. In the event that one is intended to be single, one of the key signs is that he completely grasp and make an incredible most as a solitary individual. Instead of needing to discover a relationship later on, he is splendidly content with his single status and is without an accomplice totally by decision. Be that as it may, it's essential to comprehend the key qualification between individuals who are single since they genuinely need to be and individuals who are separated from everyone else by situation. For example, since he isn't seeing someone, up with, or haven't dated in some time doesn't imply that he inclined toward being and remaining single, it just implies that they haven't met the opportune individual yet. Yet, for individuals who need to carry on with a singleton life perpetually, they're not keen on meeting anybody since that is not a need or a need. They're not the only one by situation, but instead by decision. 9. Set in their own ways. Is it true that one is totally acclimated with his daily schedule? Individuals who incline toward remaining single are frequently as of now solidly settled in their manners and want to change or make bargains to incorporate others into their day-by-day plans. At the point when one like things done a specific way, if an individual winds up adhere to an exacting calendar, or reluctant to curve or change his daily practice in any capacity, this can be a reasonable sign that such individual will be more joyful being single. Then again, individuals who want to discover a relationship not far off are regularly unquestionably increasingly ready to be adaptable, helpful, and obliging so as to assuage a future accomplice. 10. Genuinely happy being single. For certain individuals, being separated from everyone else can cause incredible tension, stress, and grief. Their certainty, confidence, and feeling of self-esteem may drop since they're not at present seeing someone. In any case, for the individuals who like being single, snapshots of isolation can be very fortifying and pleasant. An individual like this may anticipate investing energy solo where the individual in question can concentrate on oneself and prosperity. While being separated from everyone else carries bliss to that individual instead of shock, this feeling of happiness is additional evidence that such an individual needn't bother with a huge other in life so as to be essentially glad. 11. Not feeling lonely. Not feeling lonely also tends people to avoid being in a relationship. One of the focal feelings of dread that numerous individuals have about being single is that they're stressed they'll feel forlorn or disengaged a great deal of the time. Be that as it may, individuals who like being single appreciate these minutes without anyone else and don't have this equivalent sort of apprehension since they like investing energy in their own. These individuals may head out to have a great time, participate in get-togethers, and propel themselves out of their usual range of familiarity, but on the other hand they're altogether cheerful when they can return home and invest some quality energy without anyone else. They anticipate and even search out these snapshots of tranquil isolation. Deciding to be single positively doesn't imply that you're deciding to be forlorn, it just implies that you're picking the best life for you.